Thank you, my listeners. We follow together. Today, I want us to look on the so challenging issue all over the business sector. And the issue is not any other but is the simple question on whether all entrepreneurs born whole meant. This is a question that have issues with many because many think of different ideas on the same. But I want us today to major on the question, and I hope by the end of the lesson we'll have understood the real answer to the question. So you can see that the preparation is by Kennedy, that is me, who is in bond with you. Much welcome. In a very introductory part, we'll start by just a definition of the word entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, we say that is the ability and readiness to develop, organize and run a business enterprise along with any uncertainties in order to make profit. In other words, it is the creation or extraction of value. What am I trying to say? It's simply that whatever we call entrepreneurship involves ability and readiness. It won't exist with just ability without readiness. No, they shouldn't go hand in hand. We say that the one who has that ability and readiness, it also involves organizing on how to run a business enterprise. But there is a keyword along with any uncertainties. What do I mean? Don't expect to see any business thriving without uncertainties. Uncertainties are like the challenges that you face in any startup or in any ongoing business whenever you want to start it. And we say that it is creation or extraction of value. We create value and we extract. We create value and we benefit from that value. That's what we mean by extraction. Continue by saying that it is viewed as change, generally entailing risk. Behold what is normally encountered in starting a business, which may include other values than economic ones. Why say this? Many think that whenever we talk of a business, we must be measuring on economic issues or rather the financial resources. No. But remember that as an entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur is being established, there are so many challenges like the setting a business in strategic position, looking on the weaknesses of the existing businesses, the level of competition, and some other many factors which, if strictly looked upon, may also surpass the effort made in capital contribution. Then the question arises, who then is an entrepreneur? Remember, whenever we talk of entrepreneurship, it is run by an entrepreneur. Then who is this entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is defined as anyone who founds or organizes a business, then contribute to an active participant. This one is entrepreneur does not only required in the organization, but also contribution to be the active participant. So, many fail in business because of their failure due to failure to avail themselves directly to the business. You set a business, you imagine or you just assume, you leave them ball rolling. Yes, it makes, but the best important way of succeeding in any business sector is whenever you come up with an idea, just be the best or the first person in the active operation of the same. Why say this? Many try to come up with business ideas. They think that they just thrive because they have contributed to it a location, they have contributed to it setting. But no, take an example. Someone who have a lot of money to invest maybe in the medical field, yet he or she himself or herself is not the medical practitioner. Remember, the name or the brand name of the business, that is the hospital, will be raised by the value of the one who set the same or who came up with an idea. So you realize that you visit some clinics or the chemists that are opened around. You realize that the services offered they are so poor. Why? Because only financial factors are put into consideration, leaving others not taken care of. But as a wise entrepreneur, engage yourself one by one to the business that you are running. It is worth to note that it takes more than a great idea to become a successful entrepreneur. That is, the winding road between the concept and the execution requires business acumen, financial skills, and most importantly, the right mindset. We say that any given organization, or in other words, a newly formed business or a newly formed idea can run from the smallest point of view to the biggest or to the widest point of view. To start a business and to run it successfully or to become a successful entrepreneur does not merely need only the financial support, no, but the human power, the manpower working that organization. Are they really trained? Do they have financial? Is there any financial skills as the internal environment of the business? And do you have the right mindset? Do you know you can invest? And this is the problem that is threatening most of the business entrepreneurs around. Why? They just they think of a business, they set a business, but they don't have the required mindset of the same, and as a result, it ends up as a terrible failure. So, having discussed about the entrepreneurship and the entrepreneur, this takes us to our point of concern, which is think before even I go far. This is a question that should be disturbing you as an entrepreneur or someone if you meet yourself in a business organization or in any enterprise. You should think, which type of entrepreneur are you? Then what should you do to improve your entrepreneurial skills? We see that this issue is, we call it a old age question. This means that it's a question that have disturbed many scholars, many entrepreneurs, some heading up, having solution, and others yet not. The single question has wrapped on minds of many thought leaders, industrial authorities, professors, and even entrepreneurs like myself. It appears so simple when asked, yet upon scratching the surface slightly, it becomes a far deeper question. With this hint, we can say that the standpoint on either An entrepreneurial born or made depends on the argument raised, though being interdependent at some point. Your argument will just make a clear answer if surely entrepreneurs are born or made, or either born or made, or rather you can find the interdependence whereby you meet. There are some arguments that even if you're born as an entrepreneur, you need some education or some training to sustain what you are born with. Let's then have the two of the argument on bond for validation. Much welcome. Many really meet themselves in a situation to wonder what is what, which is which, born or made. Let's start to see if surely born or made. So, are entrepreneurs born? Surely born? The thing is, to some extent, there is truth in this statement that entrepreneur is born. Yeah, there is those arguments that entrepreneurs are born. But how are they born? There are two entrepreneurs born. One, the one who is born into a family that already owns a business. Remember, I'll give an example where we have a boy or a girl brought up in a family setup where his or her mom is an entrepreneur. So they have a already set business running. So in case of absence of the dad or the mom, the girl or the boy takes over. At this, by so doing, he or she becomes an entrepreneur. But by birth, you wake up, you meet yourself operating a very big business. The second type of an entrepreneur is the one who has no resources and no knowledge when it comes to investment, but he or she is full of ideas. This is the class that is carrying the high population. No wonder who says that whenever we hear that we get business, whatever we call the business ideas, we get them maybe from listening from what people are saying. Where do you think we do listen? We do listen from this second class of people. That is entrepreneurs who have entrepreneurial skills in them. They have what we call, they are full of business ideas, but remember they have no resources and they have no knowledge when it comes to investment. These are the kind of people you can sit with, advise you and tell you that if I were having maybe 500,000, I would maybe buy a land, or I would maybe hire, not to hire, but I would just buy a small piece of land. Then I would just maybe do some building there. I can maybe do some building, especially the plot for hiring. And after maybe some years, I can be having these, I can be maybe operating at a very high or very improved economic situation than the one he or she is in. So these are the ones that we say that they have a lot of ideas, but they don't have resources. Neither do they have resources, nor do they have knowledge when it comes to investment. I think you've gotten those two types of born entrepreneurs. Yeah, you can see they have ideas. They have ideas, but they don't have resources, or rather they don't have any knowledge when it comes to investment. But they are full of knowledge. They are full of ideas, which I can say that it may not help them. But if you strictly make them your close friends as a very skillful entrepreneur, you can learn much from them. It is not necessary that an entrepreneur's son or daughter has to become an entrepreneur. I know that you know. It is not necessary that it's like hereditary. We don't have that to prove. But if your mother is a trader or a businessman or business lady, you too will become one. No. However, it becomes easy for an individual who is born in a family that already runs a business venture to get into the family business. It is because entrepreneurship runs in the family. This is the case where we say that due to pressure, maybe you are just maybe hardened to operate in a given day, so you understand things to do with the sales, you understand things with the transaction, yet you have never ever made an effort to become one. Entrepreneurs requires resources like capital, land, and labor. I know that you know, and it is usually not that difficult. It is usually not that difficult to achieve. These resources are already available in the family. Remember that this born entrepreneur have just made whatever is required for entrepreneurial to run. There is land, there is labor, there is capital. Everything is in place. So you just take the responsibility of management, which becomes simple, and by that line, he or she can be defined as a born entrepreneur. In such situation, the drawback is that the entrepreneur born in a business family shy away from starting their own business. They shy away. Why? They have never ever tried. At any moment, even they get a failure or what have you. No, they just see things running, so they don't have that motivation to invest and start any given enterprise. So he or she instead focuses only in running the family business and carrying forward the name attached to the business for generations to come. They just have managerial skills. They do manage what is already there. Maybe they shine because their business might be so large to an extent that they think maybe they won't operate the small businesses or premises, but rather require the large businesses, which automatically are very expensive to set. The second issue now is the issue with entrepreneurs' mind. Yeah, for example, you have Bill Gates. And Bill Gates, we know it's just a non-entrepreneur. Was he born or made? Yeah, that is the issue at hand now. Really made? Many such individuals shape themselves to own a business who dares to dream big. They claim success to be their part, and this is because they have a powerful burning desire to be self-employed. They have a burning desire maybe to become a manager. You've worked for people for so long, so you yearn to have a management one of the final days, and such individuals go to extent to take up risk. Why are they taking up risk? Because they have a target that they want to achieve either of that management. So we can simply say that yes, entrepreneurs are meant, given that you just hire you accordingly for a point. These are individuals who are positive and with powerful self-confidence. They want to be admired as self-made man or woman. It is worthy to note that such individuals do not grow overnight, no, but they grow with time. It could be a dream or a vision that they have always wanted to achieve since their childhood. They not grow by day that you wake up and become an entrepreneur, no. It is like a fulfilled prayer. That is the strive. They have a long history of the strive that they have made towards reaching the same. Over the years, they have successfully observed the surrounding environment, maneuvered through many obstacles and experiences in life, which lastly help them become an entrepreneur. They have done much. They have worked for many people. They have tried many businesses or many. They have tried their best to many point becoming failures, other success, but they end up now making mind on becoming the management now of the problem that they have been passing through. It is their passion to create something new which makes them an entrepreneur. They have that intrinsic motivation that they want. They have that self motivation and intrinsic one that they should create something new. It can also be said that entrepreneur is created through education. Yes, the knowledge that he or she receives through lessons help the individual to be exposed to new ideas. Remember that we have training institutions like the colleges and universities where students are trained to maybe achieve what they think they can or to achieve what might also be inside them. In addition, education help individuals discover the skill and the natural talent that they already possess. It helps them to successfully use those skills in becoming an entrepreneur. So they are just trained on whatever they already know. Think we are together. For example, like the gentleman you can see here was not born as a lab technician or as an expert in that field, but he was trained through continuous lessons or through the knowledge that was shared or impacted to him by his or her teacher. He was not born knowing how to deal with chemicals, but he have this skill through the knowledge he have acquired. However, there is one thing that education cannot teach, and that is to take risk. I want you to get me clearly that education might not train you to do what? Cannot teach you to take risk. But remember, education can teach you to manage risk. These are just uncertainties. These are what a business can expect to face and solve as a challenge. A self-made entrepreneur can bear risk and take up new challenges. That's a self-made. This is a type of an entrepreneur with the thing inside him or her, and in addition, trained on how to manage the risk. So in conclusion, you can say that, as discussed, we can conclude by saying that yes, an entrepreneur is born by continuing the family business that he or she is born in. And at the same time, we can conclude that the entrepreneur is also made through education, the natural talent and skills that he or she already possesses. However, there is a big difference between being just an entrepreneur and being a successful entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur. Remember that we have the one who is born and become entrepreneur by he have just made himself without any effort, and we have the other one who have made several efforts. Even the effort of maybe also getting the studies is an effort. You are trained, so it is always good to yearn to become a successful entrepreneur, but not just an entrepreneur. So the question arises, are you an entrepreneur? Are you one? Do you wonder, are you one? But surprisingly, despite almost everyone having it in mind to become an entrepreneur, it is only that handful people who can dare to dream big and make it to become a successful entrepreneur. These are found that many young, each and everyone feels like I can be a manager of something, but they still want to manage something which are already set. They don't want to go extra mile to think creatively and innovatively to come up with some other ideas. They dig on them and maybe end up becoming one. So taking risk is in it for a successful entrepreneur. So successful entrepreneur, though we have entrepreneurs, but the successful one have the aspect of taking risk is in it, is inside him. He is not forced. You have no worry when it comes to taking risk, and he know how to manage those risks. He or she does not fear failure, but instead they focus on spending enough time on improving his solar skills. Strive to gain more experience by observing other successful entrepreneurs that endeavor to sharpen their leadership position in a business. The individual aim to achieve what they want, consider impossible. This is not just mere simple person. No. Can't you imagine that he is trying to achieve what the world considers impossible? Yeah, that's what we call entrepreneur. For example, when we think of making a new product, without maybe when you think of making a new product, maybe without without buying any raw material, but producing them by yourself, is something that some think they are very impossible. But take an example to the Maasai people, what they do. You meet them using the local resources they have, like the animal skin. After slaughtering a goat or camel or what have you, they try to see how can we, out of this product, make or waste product, make a very useful product. A very maybe rich person couldn't think of the same when he or she is wearing a safari boot, a type of shoe very expensive. Little did he know that that shoe that is called original, it's just, many of them are got from the animal skins. Yeah. Take an example, the belt. The most expensive belt is the one made from the skin. But now, when you slaughter and goat, you wonder now, your main aim was to take the meat. Why are you taking the skin? You just consider it as a waste product. But rather, you meet yourself standing at maybe standing talking to someone who maybe at your level you can consider him being so poor. But little did you know that whatever he or she is selling to you came just from you unknowingly. So he or she does not fear failure, but instead focus on spending enough time on improving his skills, strive to gain more experience by observing the successful entrepreneurs endeavor to sharpen the leadership position in a business. And as we've seen, that the individuals aim to achieve what the world considers impossible. The passion makes him or her give birth to new ideas and come out as victorious entrepreneur. You have that passion that whatever he is doing belongs to him. So, with that in our mind, thank you as I conclude for being a keen listener, knowing that you've just got any point and it might help you if you be innovative, you think in some other dimension. Thank you for being a keen reader. Please like, comment, and possibly join my YouTube channel for more sharing. Welcome again. I'm Mr. Ken, Kirinyaga University. Thank you very much, my viewers. Thank you as you prepare to follow me. Thank you as you prepare to support. Thank you as you prepare to maybe have a manipulation or to have some benefit from whatever I've taught. Thank you as you prepare to also become one, maybe to raise your family. Thank you as you prepare to maybe to change from the setup of the entrepreneur that you are in. Maybe you was born and you prepare to be trained and become one. Thank you very much.